Ever heard of the butterfly effect? It's that concept that a small thing can set off a chain of reactions, ultimately leading to monumental shifts in the universe. Now, apply that chaos theory to the NBA, triggered by a single, almost inconceivable mistake. The Golden State Warriors, believe it or not, teetered on the edge of trading away the iconic Steph and Curry back in 2011. Steph had been the driving force behind the Warriors' dynasty 4 NBA titles in less than a decade. But rewind a bit, and you'll be baffled to discover that there was a point in time when the Warriors contemplated sending Curry packing to the Bucks. What in the world could make a team even think about trading away a player of Curry's caliber? The answer lies in a series of events, a domino effect that has reshaped the NBA as we know it. It was a pivotal moment in NBA history. In this video, we'll dissect the circumstances that brought the Warriors to the brink of trading away their golden ticket. Believe it or not, Curry's journey to becoming the Warriors' cornerstone started with a couple of head-scratching decisions by the Minnesota Timberwolves in the 2009 NBA draft. The Timberwolves, holding the 5th and 6th picks, passed on Curry twice. First, they went with Ricky Rubio as the 5th pick, and then selected Johnny Flynn as the 6th pick, leaving Curry hanging in the balance. Curry himself had his eyes set on the New York Knicks, who were holding the 8th pick, but destiny had other plans. His father, Dale, even advised the Warriors not to draft his son, but they didn't listen. That decision would reshape the Warriors. The dominoes started falling, and the Warriors found themselves with a game changer in Curry: injuries. Curry's early career was marked by promise and potential, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. In his rookie season, he showed his prowess, appearing in 80 games. However, it was in his second season that the ankle trouble started. Ankle injuries became an unwanted companion on his journey. A seemingly innocent move during a game against the Spurs led to a rolled ankle, and that set the tone for what will become a recurring issue. Multiple ankle injuries followed. By the end of the season, Curry found himself undergoing surgery to repair torn ligaments. But despite rehab efforts, the ankle woes persisted. The lockout-shortened season of 2011-2012 saw Curry return, but the injuries continued to plague him, playing only 26 games. Former Warriors general manager Bob Myers even expressed his astonishment at the unconventional nature of Curry's ankle injuries. He compared him to the Hall of Famer Grant Hill, whose prime was cut short by similar troubles. It's not hard to understand why the Bucks were eyeing the young and promising Steph. At the time, he was a rising star with a world of potential. He had yet to reach superstar status, but there were signs that he could be something truly special on the court. The Bucks saw in him a budding talent, a beacon of hope for the franchise's future. However, his injuries cast a shadow over the prospect of him in a Bucks jersey. The fear loomed large that these recurring injuries could hinder his ability to be a reliable, long-term solution at point guard. Now, let's shift the spotlight to Monta Ellis, the man who ended up being the key player in this intricate puzzle. From 2007 to 2012, Ellis was a scoring machine for the Warriors, a force on the court. He could get a bucket against any defender in the league. Starting for the We Believe Warriors in his second season, Ellis was named Most Improved Player at just 21 years old. 3 years, and Ellis had evolved into the league's 6th leading scorer, dropping an impressive 25.5 points per game. Despite never earning an All-Star nod and having his share of flaws, Ellis had become a beloved figure in the Bay Area. The Warriors were eyeing a trade for big man Andrew Bogut, the 1st overall pick in the 2005 NBA draft by the Milwaukee Bucks. The proposed deal was sending Steph Curry, Ekpe Udoh, and Kwame Brown to the Bucks in exchange for Bogut and Stephen Jackson. But fate took a decisive turn. Milwaukee's medical staff, the unsung heroes in this narrative, raised red flags about Curry's injury history. They had reservations, believing his ankles might not endure the NBA grind. And just like that, the Bucks slammed the door shut on the Curry trade. In a stroke of luck for Golden State, Monta Ellis became the centerpiece of the trade instead. This trade was perceived as an organizational choice between Ellis and Curry. Ellis himself had voiced concerns about coexisting with Steph in the same backcourt. He recognized the challenges of having 2 smaller scoring guards, and he was on point. At that point, the league hadn't fully embraced smaller lineups. A Curry-Ellis backcourt would have been a defensive liability and lacked offensive clarity. The former Bucks co-owner, Mark Lasry, revealed, "That was the deal, but the Bucks medical staff didn't think Steph's ankle would hold up. That killed the deal." In a candid moment, Curry himself shared that Mark Jackson pulled him aside and said, "I just had to let you know, the Bucks wanted you in the trade." Curry confirmed that it was the team doctors who intervened. They deemed his ankle injuries too significant, declaring he was not worth trading. And just like that, the dice were rolled, the pieces were in place, and the Golden State Warriors embarked on a journey that would redefine NBA history. The trade involving Monta Ellis turned out to be the turning point, the spark that ignited a dynastic ascent marked by good fortune. Post-trade, the Warriors Warriors faced a challenging stretch, losing 22 of their final 27 games. Yet, in the grand scheme, it was a strategic move. The losses secured their top 7 protected pick in 2011. The pick that would have gone to the Utah Jazz had it fallen just one slot lower, and they picked Harrison Barnes, the first gem in the post-Ellis era. But that was just the beginning. The following year, the Warriors continued their draft magic, adding Klay Thompson and Draymond Green to the roster. Under the guidance of then head coach Mark Jackson, Curry's star began to shine even brighter. In 2013, they crashed the playoff party with a stunning first-round upset of the third-seeded Denver Nuggets. The momentum was building, and the Warriors were on the brink of something extraordinary. The seismic shifts continued. Andre Iguodala, impressed by the Warriors' playoff performance, joined the squad a few months later. With a few strategic moves, the Warriors managed to unload contracts, creating room for new possibilities. In 2015, the stars aligned. An MVP award for Curry and their first championship in 40 years. The Warriors were just getting started. In the 2015-16 season, Curry bagged another MVP. The Warriors had a historic 73-win season, and we were witnessing a dynasty. But even in the face of adversity, the Warriors found fortune. A heartbreaking loss in the finals to LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers became a blessing in disguise. The Warriors unintentionally paved the way for a seismic move. In the aftermath of the Monte Ellis trade, the Warriors had doubled down on their commitment to Steph. They inked him to a 4-year, $44 million deal. This contract, initially perceived as a gamble due to Curry's ankles concerns, turned out to be the biggest bargain in sports history. But destiny had other plans. Surgery worked its magic, fixing Curry's ankles and transforming him into a future MVP, and leaving the Warriors with financial flexibility. Ordinarily, teams had to choose between securing a future MVP or having financial flexibility. Golden State, however, defied the norm and got both. In 2016, the stars aligned once again. The salary cap ballooned after a $24 billion TV deal, coinciding perfectly with Durant hitting free agency. And this allowed the Warriors to make another big move, getting KD. The result was 2 consecutive championships in 2017 and 2018, solidifying the Warriors dynasty. Even a loss to the Raptors in 2019 couldn't overshadow their remarkable journey. In 2022, let's be clear, the Warriors' 6 finals and 4 championships weren't handed to them. Success requires a blend of skill, strategy, and yes, a touch of luck. Yet, for the most part, Golden State crafted its own fortune. They traced it back to the pivotal decision to trade Ellis and officially hand the reins over to Curry. It wasn't the most popular decision at the time, stirring skepticism among fans. A significant portion of the Warriors fan base questioned the move. Curry, though impressive, wasn't unanimously seen as the obvious choice over Ellis, a top 10 scorer. That mistake by the Bucks doctors changed everything. Now, what if the Milwaukee Bucks could have acquired Stephen Curry in 2011 and in 2013 went on to draft Giannis Antetokounmpo? The mere thought of a Curry-Giannis duo is enough to send shivers down any basketball fan's spine. We could have seen a version of Tim Duncan and Tony Parker reach their full potential. The dynamic duo could have rewritten the narrative of the NBA, creating a legacy that echoed through the ages. But as fate would have it, Monte Ellis completed his contract in Milwaukee, then moved on to the Dallas Mavericks before finishing his NBA career with the Indiana Pacers. Meanwhile, Giannis Antetokounmpo embarked on a journey of self-improvement. He led the Bucks to their first championship in 50 years in 2021, and is still taking the lead. But as we ponder the alternate universe, we can't ignore the current state of affairs. The Dubs dynasty, once sailing smoothly, is now on the brink of destruction. The mood in San Francisco is not good, and changes are on the way. The Warriors dynasty is no longer that dynasty. The story reminds us that every decision, trade, and championship shapes the narrative in the vast world of the NBA. That's the butterfly effect.